Sunrise, first fade, new fade, let go. Morning travel, Yankees at the tone. Alone, I'm up, no snooze, no slack. Stay tight, mic on and we run that track. Coffee in the system, my shot, talk slick. Pre-game on the screen, I don't miss, I don't pick. Type, sex in the chat, watch it pop up. Get caught on screen, the numbers arise. Just when we type on instant replay, you'll get work, no room for the data say. We lap energy, but it takes real out. To the early hours, in the main crowd. Quick hits, no fluff, we don't stall. Roll call, name drop, yeah, I got them all. One command, one tap, and the truth on tap.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. A little late over there in the East Coast right now. It's morning time for me. Morning time for me, guys. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day today. Let me say what's up to the chat before we even move on to anything we do. Hold on. All right. Katie's in the building. What's up, Katie? What is going on? John the Beagle Dad. How's it going? Good morning, John. We got Hyde in here. Fu Quan. My man Fu Quan's in the building. The ultimate face filter spammer. Now just playing with you, man. Who else we got in here? The Ace. What's good, Ace? Make sure y'all go check out Ace, man. Go subscribe to my guy if you haven't. Katie says, Jason, I love the new stream setup. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm working on this. Still some stuff I need to work out, but I've been working on it a lot. These headphones are driving me nuts. Let me take off one ear. Okay. Oh, Fuquan already starting with the math stuff. Is it on? It should be working, but anyway, folks, the Yankees coming off of a win yesterday. We'll go ahead and recap that game. Ben Rice making his appearance, drove in 2 runs, which is awesome. You love to see that, win 2 for 3. I'll pull up the box score here in a second. Yeah, that's the Yankees won 6-2. Obviously, spring training games, not a big deal, but we'll take it as we can get it, right? Yeah, we saw Ben Hessen there. He looked good. Like, his stuff looks filthy, but his command is just, he needs to work on his command. Once he gets that dialed in, I can see him being good, you know? But he's got a long way to go, in my opinion, if I'm being honest with you guys. All right, so Ben Rice 2 for 3. Dominguez 1 for 4. He started the game off good. McMahon 0 for 4. So not great for him. George Lamar Jr. got in that bat. He went 0 for 1, and Spencer Jones 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. This is not man. We're gonna have to do a whole episode on just Spencer Jones and breaking him down, because it's like on one hand, the dude is talented. He can crush baseballs, and when he's hot, he's on fire. On the other hand, though, he's a strikeout machine, and man, I swear, he reminds me of Joey Gallo a lot. And I don't want to make that comparison, obviously, because it's not a good one, and it's not something the player wants to be compared to, but he gives me those vibes. I don't know. And I'm a big backer of Spencer Jones. I want to see him make his MLB debut. But right now, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Not anytime soon anyway. All right. Yeah, Ryan Yarbrough had 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. Really good. I guess the next guy there is Ben Hess. And he had 5 strikeouts, which is crazy, in 3 innings. But the thing is, he walked 2 batters, gave up 2 hits. So he's close, though. The talent is there, is definitely there. We'll put this thing away. So that was yesterday's game, guys. Yesterday's game. Today's game is a different story. Today, the Yankees are going up against the Blue Jays. The first time we've seen him, obviously, since the ALDS, even though it's simply just a spring training game. We got Will Warren taking the mound the first time. He's making his spring training debut today. So I'm excited, because Will Warren's a guy he's key to the Yankees pitching staff right now. He's key to the rotation and possibly even the bullpen in the future. Last year he struggled. Last year was like, on one hand, you get good games from him and he looks really good. And on the other hand, he finds himself in trouble early last year, like in the first inning, and he just lets a inning that you can get away with, 1 or 2 runs, just blow up into a super blowout and just, you know, not giving us much of anything. There was a game versus Tampa Bay early the last season that I remember that he just he couldn't even get out the first inning. Um, Another game versus the Dodgers, right? Especially versus in big time games with a lot of pressure, he seemed to fold a lot. So I hope that he's a little more comfortable in his own skin and figure some things out. So it'll be good to see him. And then the Yankees got their best lineup. We have the best lineup out there that we've had all spring. And I'll pull that up here in a second. All right. So today we got Trent Grisham batting leadoff. They love Trent Grisham at leadoff. I have no idea why, but Aaron Judge batting second. Cody Bellinger batting third. Let me do this here. Jazz Chisholm Jr. batting fourth. They've been slotting him in the fourth slot for quite a bit. I mean, I guess that they're going to keep doing that until Giancarlo Stanton finally makes his debut. Stanton's still not in the lineup, so, take that for what it is. Paul Goldschmidt, Austin Wells batting sixth, Ahmed Rosario, Jose Caballero, and Luciano batting ninth. I'm not even sure who he is. And for the Blue Jays, you got Miles Straw, freaking Varsho, who he's a killer. Sanchez, I'm not familiar with him. Schneider, he's another guy that can do damage. Jimenez, he's all right. Venezuela, no, Jimenez is decent too. So, I mean, that top five, I say, is a good line. Obviously, no Vladimir Guerrero Jr., no Okamoto, who hit his first home run as a Blue Jay yesterday. No, who else am I missing? No Barger, Addison Barger. No, who else? No Springer. So, this is not even a glimpse of what we're going to face, but we gave them, right, eight Major League Baseball players, right, in our lineup. 8 big leaguers, veterans too, I would say at that, Yeah, I would consider Austin Wells at this point not a veteran, but he's been in the league for a couple years now. So yeah, are we doing this for a reason? Are we putting our guys out there today because we want to make sure that we start beating them and feeling good about playing this team early? I don't know. You guys tell me. But I found it strange that we went with 8 big leaguers today versus this team. Why now? Maybe I'm looking too much into it. That could be it too. So we'll see. And then they got Kyle's batting shortstop. All right. Let's look at the defensive fielding alignment for today. Yankees got Cody Bellinger left field, Trent Grisham center, Aaron Judge right. You're gonna see that a lot this season, almost every single day. Caballero at shortstop. He's a +3 defender there. Jazz Chisholm at second base. Ahmed Rosario. Obviously, he's not the greatest defender, but he hits lefties really well. Paul Goldschmidt at first, same thing. And Austin Wells as catcher. So this is the lefty lineup right here. This is the lefty lineup with minus Giancarlo Stanton. When he comes, he would be included and slot in the DH role. And then Will Warren versus the Blue Jays last year, obviously. So this is his 2 outings versus the Blue Jays last year. Around July 2nd, obviously he did not look good versus the Blue. They crushed him. On July 2nd, he only pitched 4 innings, gave up 8 earned runs. I remember that day too, because that's the game we lost first place, I believe. We lost first place, or they tied first place with us that game. Gave up 8 runs, 4 strikeouts, and 4 walks. So not a good look. And then in October, obviously faced them again and went 4 2/3. Oh yeah, this was the blowout game too. This was the game with Luis Hill pitched, remember? On October 5th in the ALDS game. Was it game 1? Yeah, I think it was game 1 or game. No, was it? It was probably game 2. One of those, game 1 or 2. I remember it was in Toronto. And they clobbered us early, so we went to the bullpen, brought in Will Warren, and he gave up a grand slam to Vladimir Guerrero. Ended up giving 6 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and walks. So they hit this guy good. So yeah. So that's why I say, like, I don't know, man, about Will Warren. But he's an innings eater. He's durable, man. That's a guy that he's gonna give you 30 starts. So that's valuable. That's very, very valuable. And then let me know what you guys think, man. We're now looking at that Will Warren graphic that I just put up right there, and his 2 appearances versus the Blue Jays last year. I don't feel good about it. I'm gonna be honest. It just reminded me how much they smashed us last year. The Yankees got mollywopped by the Blue Jays last year. Absolutely smoked. Louis G says, dude got smoked like a Newport cigarette. Definitely. Not good. Not good. Oh, you want to see? Okay, I got you, man. I got you, Jace. The lineup for today is this right here. This is the lineup. Again, so take a look at that for a second. I'm gonna drink some of my root beer soda. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This is pretty much, I would say that this is the lineup they're gonna roll out versus lefties all season. But why so early? Why so early in the season are you gonna do this? Like, give him this many looks at our big leaguers? But I don't know. This early in spring, most teams are not doing eight, you know, 8 guys that are gonna be on the 26-man roster in the lineup on February 24th. So I don't know. But this, you could just slide in, take out Luciano there, put in Giancarlo Stanton, and that's your lineup come opening day versus a left-handed pitcher. Pretty much, So put that away there. Take that out. Yeah. I don't know, guys. So I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, everybody hit that like button, like Ace says. It's mandatory. Mr. Snow says, and the Jays come out with a bad lineup. I mean, because they don't. That's what I'm saying. Like the Jays, they don't really care. It's spring training, guys. It really is spring training. I think the Yankees are more trying to make a statement here. Like, we want to go out there and crush them so we could get that feeling of smashing them early, maybe. I was wondering, like, why now? Why, every game up to now, and for the most part, every other team is doing like they're just putting maybe four of their big leaguers, right? In there, like half the lineup is big leaguers and half the lineup is some minor leaguers, just to kind of keep a balance. But today, Yankees went all out for some reason. They went all out, and with the exception of Giancarlo Stanton, who's yet to make an appearance in spring training, but we're not rushing him, right, guys? We're not rushing him. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry. Nothing to see here, guys, right? I think he's fine, though. Katie says, I'm ready for the Yankees to destroy the Blue Jays during the regular season. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I don't know. I really do. We'll see. We'll see when we get here. I don't like, when I look at the lineup, Trent Grisham leading off, I wish they had I feel like they're going to run that again, man. All season long. I don't know about this. I don't know about Trent Grisham leading off. I don't like it. I really don't. So, Slow Burner says, GM John. Yep. Good morning. Okay. What we got? We got Slow Burner in here, who's the #1 Blue Jays fan because of WBC. Oh, you think that's the lineup? Oh, that's why the Yankees are rolling all them guys out? Nah, I don't think so, man. Look, these guys don't report to WBC for another couple days. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Maybe he wants to see it because of like you said, maybe Boone wants to see his lefty lineup all together right now because he's not going to get them back until like right before the season starts. So maybe that's what it is. But TC Steele says World Series lineup. Yo, like, bro, this is literally, look at this lineup, guys. This is the lineup that they rolled out at them in the playoffs pretty much for the most part, with the exception maybe you could slide in Ben Rice in there and Giancarlo Stanton, right? And McMahon, you could flip flop either one of those, but you get what I'm saying. Like the Yankees lose today. Well, because I'm sure all them guys are gonna come out at some point. But if they come out and just start getting rocked and just don't put up runs and look bad, I don't know what to say, guys. I really don't. I really don't. But Healing Men's Heart says Giancarlo Stanton is trapped in his Florida hotel room in bubble wrap jacket, face grease mountain. Yeah, they got him. They got him bubble wrapped right now. You got to. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. The Blue Jays are paper champs. Yankees will prove to be the better team. TC Steels woke up. Man, you woke up on the right side of the bed today. I can tell because usually, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or you're just really optimistic. Really, really optimistic. John the Beagle says, oh, you talking about puppies in there. What's up, Stephen B? Stephen B, what's up? TC says, I'm ready for the season. Yeah, me too. Definitely ready for the season. I am definitely ready for the season. I'm not ready for this line. I don't know, man. I think they need to rethink the lineups thing. With Trent Grisham at leadoff, I'm not a fan of it. I'm sorry. I'm just not. But I mean, who else do you put up there with this lineup? So I would try Caballero up there. Why not, right? Why not put Caballero at leadoff? Let's do that. Let's throw him up there and see if he can I don't know. Pick up his on base. What's Trent Grisham's on base percentage? Let me pull that up for last year. All right. Okay. Where is it? Give me a second, guys. I don't know why I didn't pull up. That is not good. Trent Grisham. All right. Trent Grisham's on base percentage last season in 2025 was 348, so that's not terrible. I'll be honest. That's not bad at all. So maybe that's what the Yankees see in him up there at the leadoff spot. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up Jose Caballero's and see what his was looking like last season. Caballero's he had 339 on base percentage. So same on base percentage, obviously a smaller sample size than Trent Grisham, but same on base percentage. And this guy's a freaking speed demon. So I would throw him up there. Let's just try it out. But if you do that, then you have to move Judge down or you get the righty-righty matchup. I think with Judge, it doesn't even matter. You could put him behind anybody, a righty or a lefty. So it doesn't even matter. But you can do that or drop him third and put Cody second. You know? Or if Ben Rice is in the lineup, put Ben Rice second and play like that. Why not? So, not sure. Not sure what's going on with them. Healing Men's Heart says Booney Tunes is obsessed with Grish as leadoff. I mean, I understand that the analytics probably say that he's good there, but I think that, look, I think that give Caballero a shot up there, you know? See what happens. But at the same time, I kind of understand because if like a guy like Caballero, if he reaches base, right, and he's on base before Judge and Judge is up to the plate, you don't want a guy running and stealing and going crazy while Judge is up there either, you know? So I guess, I don't know. I don't know what's the thought process behind it. So the DH today is Luciano. M. Luciano. I'm not even sure who that is, but that's the DH today. I'll pull it up right now. This is the lineup, guys, one more time. Those are the lineups. All right. But what's going on with you guys, man? Let me know what's up. What's happening right now? How's everybody in New York right now in the tri-state area and the East Coast? How's the weather over there right now? Is the snow still built up outside? Is it freezing? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Let me go over here. We're going to do a little Yankees versus Blue Jays trivia. You guys ready for that? Let me go. Luigi says snow is stacked. Stephen B says, I'll send a picture. Hold on. Who were you calling a troll? I don't know what you guys talking about. All right, guys, we're going to go into this. I got some Yankees versus Blue Jays trivia, 5 questions. Again, if you haven't played, if this is your first time, yeah, it's multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. Type A, B, C, or D in the chat to register your answer. The faster you answer correctly, the more points. No prizes today, but in the future, I plan to include some prizes. So let's go.
Trivia time. In the 2025 ALDS Game 4 versus NYY, who hit the pivotal 2-run single in the 7th for Toronto? Is it A, Nathan Lukes, B, George Springer, C, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., D, Addison Barger?
2025 in the LDS Game 4 versus Yankees, who hit the pivotal 2-run single in the 7th for Toronto? Everybody saying B. Was it B? Was it Springer? I don't know. I feel like it was Nathan. No? I don't know, man. I'll go with Barger. I mean Springer. I don't think it was Springer. And that was just a couple months ago and I can't remember. Yeah, Nathan Lukes. Getting killed by the Yankees got killed by Nathan Lukes. You can't make this stuff up, man. I tell you. All right, next question.
Trivia time. Which Blue Jays rookie struck out 11 Yankees in Game 2 of the 2025 ALDS? Is it A, Trey Savage, B, Ricky Tiedemann, C, Bowden Francis, D, Yariel Rodriguez?
I put B by mistake. Yeah, we already know that was Trey. And the crazy thing about it is we had just came off of facing Gossman the day before, and they looked terrible versus him. And then they had the approach was just retarded, man. It's like I don't know what they were just swinging at anything and everything. It was embarrassing, really. It was. We got destroyed, man. It's sad how it was over before it even started, man. That series. It was over before it even started. But all right. Next question, guys. Oh, why is it not working? It doesn't want to go to the next question. Let me try this. Oh. Okay, I messed up. I messed it up, guys. Anyway, we'll work on that later. I messed it up, so I don't even want to mess with that right now. I'll go after this. I'll fix it. Now the trivia is good. It was me. I did something stupid behind the scenes, but it's all good. Slow Burner said he was winning. That's why I messed it up. You see? Can't let you win, man. Remember, even though I'm still a Yankees fan, man. Now just man. Nah, for real, I messed something up behind the scenes. I pressed the wrong button by accident and it started glitching, so. But I'll fix that stuff later. TC says
Trivia time. In the 2025 ALDS Game 4 versus NYY, who hit the pivotal 2-run single in the 7th for Toronto? Is it A, Nathan Lukes, B, George Springer?
All right, now this thing is doing its own thing. What is happening? Holy smokes, man. Slow burner, man. It's you, bro. Every time you come in here, you give me bad you give me bad luck for whatever reason. But yeah, folks, man. So what do you guys think? How do you feel about the team? How do you feel about the lineup going into today? I'll pull it up right here one more time for you guys. Yeah. Yo, what the hell's happening over here? Why does this? Okay, I see what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So yeah, let me know how you feel about the lineup in the chat, man. I was surprised when I saw the lineup. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was actually pretty surprised. I didn't think that they were gonna go put this many of their guys out there. I expected to see a few minor leaguers in there, but you know, it is what it is. Michael Conforto and the Cubs agreed to a minor league contract. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let me close this. Let me see if this works now. All right. Stephen B says bad vibes. Nah, man, he's good. Slow burner's good. I'm just messing with him. You get nervous just like your team when they play my. Nah, I never that, brother. Never that. If anything, I do get nervous sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, if like I'm in a big situation or something, but you know, that's when I perform my best, man. I feel like that's when I perform my best. I gather myself together and we get shit done. Trust me, man. I was in the army for a long time, so I've been in very high pressure situations, and that's when you find out who's really made of what, you know? Same thing with in baseball, man. Like I think the nerves is a real thing. It really is. Like some people they just can't perform under pressure. Some people are great during the regular season, but when it comes down to, you know, big spots, they can't do it. And like same thing with practice. Some people are great at practice. And I was just telling my son this the other day. Like some dudes are just really good at practice, but when it comes to the game, for some reason they shut down. And that's okay, you know, because I get it too. Everybody gets butterflies in their stomach and nerves, but you just gotta fight through it, you know. JK says this was a similar lineup that they had against the Mets, and they only scored 1 run. So we'll see what happens. This is not a similar lineup that they had against the Mets, man. You talking about the Mets the other day? No, this is a way better lineup than they had versus the Mets. This lineup right now, this is pretty much a playoff lineup, right? This is a lineup that if the playoffs started today, with the exception of Ben Rice not in there and Giancarlo Stanton, this is what you would get and with this roster. So, and I'll pull up the game versus the Mets too. When was that? The 20th, right? When did they play the Mets? 22nd. I'm gonna put it up right now. Okay. Yep. Okay. This was the lineup we put up against the Mets 2 days ago. Push this out of here. All right. So, you know, it was Grisham, Corona, Judge, Vivas, Bellinger, Ornelius, whoever that is, Jism, Shoemake, Goldschmidt. I see where you get that. So it was like they went big leaguer, minor leaguer, big leaguer, minor leaguer, big leaguer, minor leaguer, big leaguer, minor leaguer, big leaguer. I swear you can't make this shit up. Boone be playing tic-tac-toe with the lineups, man. Yo, Boone is trolling, man. He is trolling. So you had 4 minor leaguers in here versus today's lineup. Today's lineup, you have 1 minor leaguer. Right? So I'll put this here just to show you. So this is compared. This is the Mets lineup the other day versus today's lineup. So yeah, to me, it's two totally different lineups. Two totally different. So that's yeah. Boom said, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe." Boom, you playing. Eeny, meeny, miny. That's what he does before he lines up everybody in the clubhouse. It says, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe." Oh shit, you're playing, Jazz. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. Cornelius, I don't know who you are, but you're playing today. That's how they doing this during the spring. Caballero hit a home run yesterday. What was it? Versus the Pirates? Oh no, you know what? No, you're right. Okay, my bad. No, you're right. Caballero wasn't it because it's just showing me the lineup at the end. Maybe hold on, let me find that. I think you're right. I gotta look at that. I might have to scroll down and see if I can. I gotta make this be able to scroll. All right. But yeah, but even if you throw Caballero in there, it's still this is a different lineup, man. Today's lineup, with the exception of that dude Luciano, that's a lineup that you can see. I can see that lineup being rolled out in a wild card game or something, you know? So put this thing away right here. John says it's spring training. Let the fun begin. Rara says, I hope by the All-Star break the Yankees make some trades. This lineup stinks. Yo, man, I'm telling you, it's you know, I get when people say we're not running it back because technically, if you compare this roster to the roster in spring training last year, it's a lot different. But if you compare this roster to the roster that finished in the ALDS, especially the lineup, right? It's a lot different, man. I get it. The bench is a little bit better. I get it, but man, when I see that lineup there, I saw that lineup a couple months ago, man. We literally rolled out that lineup with the exception of it doesn't have Giancarlo Stanton. We literally rolled that out in October, the same thing. So the Yankees really didn't make any significant boost to the lineup at all when you think about it, you know? There really isn't. I'm sorry, man. And there is no refuting that. If people refute that, they're just, I don't know what to say. They're delusional. They just don't want to believe it, you know? But when you look at that lineup, guys, right? With the exception of dude Luciano, everybody on this lineup was there last year when the season ended, you know? So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they made any like real significant changes to the offense at all. Now, does that mean they're going to produce the same they did last year? No, that doesn't mean that because, you know, players could play better. Players could play worse. Some players have freaking breakout seasons or one-offs, and some players have bad seasons that are one-offs, you know? It happens. So, Sky has says the name under is the guy who sub in didn't start. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna look into how I have all that set up because it should show all of them, and I should be able to scroll down to everybody who played. So I'll fix that later. Dalton Varsho is going to have a big year. Give me a receipt, bro. You don't get no receipt. You're a Blue Jays fan. Now I'm just playing. I mean, he had a good year last year. Varsho's a beast, and I swear, you guys, you like. For those of y'all that have been watching, I called it even before a lot of people even knew this dude's name. I told you this dude is a monster. I was watching the game last season versus I was watching the game versus the Rockies. I just randomly tuned in and I was like, oh, you know, they playing the Rockies, whatever. I had nothing else to do. I was drinking a little bit, and this dude like lit up that whole game. He went like 5 for 5 or like 3 home runs, literally. And I was like, who is this guy? I never heard of this dude. And from that, and I was telling people, every time we face it, I was like, yo, watch out for this dude Varsho. He's a problem. He's a problem. And Barger. But Varsho, I saw him play one game where he went 5 for 5 with 3 home runs, and I was like, yeah, this dude's a problem here. This dude is definitely a problem. But, you asked for it, so you got it, man. This is a Slow Burner's receipt. He says Blue Jays is going to win 97 wins. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Blue Jays win the East easily. Yeah, whatever. Right? Dalton Varsho is going to have a big year. Give me a receipt. You got it, brother. I mean, okay. Some of y'all be making some safe predictions, though. Making some pretty safe predictions. JK says, Jason, that's what I'm... he says, Jason, that's why I'm down on this team and honestly believe they will make the playoffs, but I can see the same thing happening where they get knocked out in the first rounds. I'm in the same boat. That's why, JK, I've been saying, look, I think this team will make the playoffs. But if they don't make some significant move by the trade deadline to really get them over the hump, then that's as far as it goes, man. And I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be optimistic, but I have to call it like I see it, man. I'm one of those guys. I do believe in like speaking stuff into existence and trying to be positive. But man, sometimes it's like, you ever met that person? You met that person that you're like, and I guess it's a good thing, but sometimes it's like, bro, wake up. Everything's burning down around you, bro. And you over here with a smile like everything's all hunky-dory. No, it's time to wake up and get your ass going, I know I've met people like that and bless their hearts, right? Because I get it. It's good to be optimistic. It's good to be positive. But at some point, you got to be real. And if you can't even recognize that there's a problem, that's the problem with the Yankees, that they don't think, they look at us like, well, what's wrong? Why is everybody mad? This team won 94 games last year. This team is great. And we're like, huh? Yeah, you won 94 wins, but so what's the goal? Is the goal to win the regular season or to win the freaking World Series? What is the goal here? That's what the Yankees do, and a lot of fans fall for it. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the fans fall for it, and I get it, man. Sometimes I'm a victim of it too. Like they start moving the bar down. The bar was the World Series, championship or bust, and it's like, well, we'll just move it down. Well, you made the playoffs. What are you mad about? You made the World Series. It's a successful season, yeah, but we got embarrassed. Okay, we didn't make the World Series, so we're gonna move the bar down a little bit more. What are you talking about? We had 94 wins. Why is everybody so mad about? And it's like they keep bringing the bar, the standard. They keep lowering the standard, lower and lower and lower. They move the goalposts to whatever they finish at. That's where they move the goalposts, and they say it was a successful season, great season, nothing to see here, right? Everything's cool. And that's the Yankees for you. Straight gaslighting, man. They're the best. They gaslight the best. Kelvin, Jenny says, one right-hand breakout bat at every shortstop third base. One right-handed breakout bat and an everyday shortstop third base who can lead off unlocks the lineup. Yep. Runners on, bellies fastballs, Judge does damage. Hope is capped. That's what I was just saying. If you probably just tuned in, but I just went off for like 10 minutes on how they should give Caballero a start at leadoff. Like just give him a chance at leadoff. And I compared his, and I'll do it again here. I compared Caballero's on-base percentage to Trent Grisham because they love Trent Grisham at leadoff, and I get his on-base percentage is decent, but right. It's the same as Caballero, and Caballero has a lot more speed. So I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what's the logic behind everything. I'm really not. So if you look at Trent Grisham's, obviously he has a bigger sample size because he had way more at bats than Caballero, but his on base percentage is 348. And then when you look at Caballero, let me pull that up real quick. Caballero's 339, similar, smaller sample size, but this is a guy who got 49 stolen bases. So he can, you can manufacture runs with this dude. So I think when you put in somebody, and I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again, when you have somebody batting leadoff, right? You need to think two things. Obviously the players below, but whoever's batting leadoff is gonna get 100 something more at bats in a season than the guy batting sixth or seventh, right? He's gonna get at least 120 more at bats if they play every game. Who do you want getting 120 more at bats? Do you want Grisham getting 120 more at bats, or do you want Caballero getting 120 more at bats? Or anybody else, even like with Ben Rice. You want Ben Rice getting 100 more at bats or Trent Grisham? That's how I see it, you know? So that's why the Dodgers put Shohei Ohtani at leadoff. Why is Shohei Ohtani at leadoff, right? He could drive in runs. He could do all this. He's at leadoff. First of all, he could steal bases, right? But not only that, is because they want to, he's the best player. They want him to get the most at bats possible. They're trying to maximize how many times this guy steps into the batter's box in a season. And the Yankees, we're giving that opportunity to Grisham. And nothing against Grisham, because I do like Grisham, low key, you know? But my goodness, dude. He's not the leadoff guy. He's not a good leadoff guy. We saw it last year in the playoffs. He bat like 1-something. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Let me see if this will work here. So this is his Trent Grisham's numbers in October 2025. This is playoff. 160, 25 at-bats, only 4 hits, on-base percentage of 250, OPS 490. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is where I'm going with this, man. Like, come on. And then they kept doing it, and they just kept putting him out there, bro. It's ridiculous. It was like, bro, this guy's not cutting it. You got to pivot. You have to pivot. I'm talking about in the playoffs, because he had a decent season. And I'll put same thing with Anthony Volpe. I'm going to pull up Anthony Volpe October 2025. And the Yankees it took the Yankees to the last out of the ALDS to pivot from Volpe and give Dominguez an at-bat. That's how long it took them to pivot from this statistic. 130, 15 strikeouts, and 23 at-bats. Guys, 15 strikeouts and 23 at-bats. Let that sink in, please. Let it sink in. And I'm screaming at my house like, why is he playing? Why? See, now I'm trying to get over right last year. But this is the shit that kills me with this team. It's like, bro, especially in the playoffs, like, bro, you saw after like 2 games and somebody ain't performing, you need to sit him down. Bro, Joe Torre sat down, Joe Torre sat down guys before because they weren't performing, dropped them in the lineup. You don't care who it is. But this dude literally went and 23 at-bats in the postseason, struck out 15 times, and they ran him out there every single day up to the last at-bat. And his last at-bat, they took him out and brought Jason Dominguez when it was too late. It was too late already. Same thing with Grisham at leadoff. He was batting 160, and they refused to pivot. It's like they're so hard-headed. That's why I get frustrated with this team. They're so hard-headed, so stubborn. They have to be right. And if they're not right, they'll just lie their way into being right. Well, he was hurt. That's what they'll say. Well, he was hurt. So why the fuck was he playing? And excuse my French this morning. It's too early to be speaking French, man. But why was he playing? Then that's my whole thing. If he was hurt, why was he playing? You know? And I don't think that's the case. I think maybe he was hurt, but everybody's hurt. That's what they say. I don't know. I've never been in the major leagues. I don't know how it's like. But from all the interviews and stuff, everybody that says come October time, everybody's dealing with some kind of injury. Maybe not a labrum tear like Volpe was, you know, but everybody's dealing with aches and pains. I don't know, man. I'm going on a little tantrum here, but it's frustrating, man. It really is frustrating. When I look at those numbers, when I go back and I look at numbers, I don't know if you guys have gone back and rewatched some of these games. Sometimes they play it on MLB, on the MLB TV, on MLB Network. They'll play these old games, these games from last year. versus the Blue Jays in the ALDS, and it's so frustrating because I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, man, and this is year after year, but hopefully. But look, we got to be optimistic, right? It's a new year and hope that things are different. But that lineup don't look too different to me, guys. The lineup don't look too different to me from what I seen last year. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let me see. JK says, Volpe hasn't performed since he got up to the big leagues, has never been consistent enough. The fact that they had him out there is insane. Yeah, man. Last year, look, during the playoffs, I was very frustrated. And it's not even, look, I feel bad for Volpe. It's like, bro, he's not doing it. He was striking it over and over and over. Like, you got to get him out there for him, for his psyche, his confidence level. Get him out of there, yo. Why you keep rolling him out there to get booed and embarrassed, The Yankees don't help either, right? Volpe, obviously, he didn't perform, okay? Like, let's keep it a buck. Everybody knows that, undoubtedly. You could say he was injured, whatever, but when you look at the year prior to that, okay, what excuse you have for that for 2024? What excuse you have for 2023? So we know that, right? But the Yankees, as an organization, they don't help either. They don't help either because they don't do what's necessary for the player to save himself, man. And I think that I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they play it this year. I think speedy guys need to be in the front of Judge, so Rice shouldn't lead off. Cabby, Belly, Judge, Rice. Yeah, but the thing with that, I understand the logic though behind it because I don't know. It depends on Judge, right? Does Judge mind? Do you want, when Judge is batting up, do you want guys just stealing bases? That's the thing too. When Judge is at the plate, you don't want to get thrown out, right? That's a bad thing. You understand what I'm saying? So I see both sides of the coin, but still, I'd rather have Ben Rice than Trent Grisham. You feel me? Like, I think the most important thing before Judge, you need somebody who gets on base for Judge. And then behind Judge, right? So anyone who's batting in front of Judge needs to be a guy who gets on base a lot, constantly. Anyone batting behind Judge needs to be a guy who's a threat, where they can't just walk Judge because then they got to face this dude, You can't be an easy out behind Judge because then Judge has no protection and they just won't throw him strikes and see if he'll get himself out. And if he walks, go ahead, take first. It's all good. We'll just get the next guy out. So, but I feel you though, right? Traditionally, the guy at leadoff is the guy, your fastest guy, right? Traditionally, that's the traditional way I was taught as a kid and everything, but things have changed. That there's algorithms for this stuff. I spoke about it yesterday. It's like they have equations to determine who is better at leadoff and stuff. But I don't see any equation, right? There's no equation out there or algorithm or whatever that thinks that Trent Grisham is the best possible leadoff on this roster. So, I don't know. That's just me. That's how I see it. Slow burner is the $. Slow burner, man. You know what? You true to your name. You're a little bit slow. Slow burner's a little bit slow, guys. This dude, he's been watching you. Come on, slow burner. You know better, man. Everything's in the description too. I appreciate it, Kelvin. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I saw you on Ace's stream yesterday. You from New Orleans. Now, let me tell you, man, I went to New Orleans once, right? I was driving to Texas with my family. Appreciate you shooting me hearts, man. And if you haven't liked the video, hit that like button. It's somewhere. Where is that? Right down there somewhere. Anyway, hey, Kelvin, man, I went to New Orleans, right? I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I was like, I want to stop by New Orleans because I've never been there, right? I've been to Louisiana before, but I was like, that was with the Army and we weren't nowhere near New Orleans. But so I wanted to go to New Orleans. First of all, the drive over there, right? Once you hit like that highway to go south, it's all swamp. It feels like you driving on a long ass bridge that goes forever, and everything under you is like swamp. Anyway, I booked the hotel. I had no idea. I just wanted to stay on Bourbon Street. I wanted to be around Bourbon Street, right? So I booked this hotel. When I get there, first of all, I got creepy vibes, man. This shit, I was like, yo, is this haunted? So I looked it up, and sure enough, it's like one of the most haunted places you can go to. So I couldn't tell my kids this because they would have freaked out, right? So I'm in this haunted hotel with my kids, but it was cool though, man. But it was some creepy shit, man, in there. It felt creepy. The pool at night, we went to the pool, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see nothing under me. Voodoo stores everywhere. I just had a creepy vibe, but it was cool though. It was fun though. Bourbon Street is nice, but I will say this, right? As soon as you leave the French Quarters, like that little, as soon as you leave Bourbon Street and you go out there, because I wanted to go to Foot Locker to buy a hat, and so I went over there. As soon as you go there, bro, it's ghetto as fuck, man. Be careful, man. It is so sketchy. I went out there. I was like, yo, this place is dicey. And there was a bunch of dudes looking at me. I was like, oh, man, I might have to fight my way out of this street, man. Literally just around the corner, it turned into one of the most ghettoest places I've been to in a long time. So that's my New Orleans story. But I had a good time, though, and the family had a good time. As soon as we checked out, I told them, hey, man, this is a haunted hotel. I showed them videos on, because they had like ghost hunters there and stuff, like those YouTube videos, and they were freaking out, you know. But it was cool, though. Definitely cool. Back to baseball. Fuqua says Mardi Gras, Jason. Yeah, I wasn't there for Mardi Gras, but it was still jumping. It was popping. Ace, appreciate you, man. My man Ace with the gifted membership. Who got it? GD Skinner got the gifted membership, man. So congratulations. Appreciate your Ace, man. And make sure you go check out Ace's channel. You doing the play-by-play later? Drop the link if you can. Drop the link in there. And if you can't, let me know and I'll drop it for you. Who the hell cloned me? Stephen B, of course, man. And if you don't know, like if you're wondering what the hell is going on with all these filters and all this crazy stuff happening, if you look in the description, there's a bunch of commands that you can put in the chat to do things like pull up stats or, you know, do crazy stuff like, I don't know, like this. Oh, what? Oh, that ain't working. All right, well, do crazy stuff like this. Nothing's working now. Forget it. I'm going to turn it off. I don't know. It's been acting crazy, but the filter's been turned off. But you could throw like a smoke grenade like that. Anyway. Oh, Kevin says, glad to call New York City and Nola, my homes. Go Yankees. Yeah, man. So, yeah, New Orleans was different, but I had a good time there while I was there. And I would like to go back now that I know more what to expect. You know what it is? When y'all spam it, it starts getting messed up. So, I don't know. I got to look into it. Why is it doing that stuff? So, I'll fix that later. Slow Burner says, what up, Ace? Yeah. He said that's the tourist trap. Yeah, but it was sketchy though. I'm not in the front, man. I went to Foot Locker over there in New Orleans and I looked and there was a whole crew of dudes there and they were just looking at me like who the hell is this? And I was just looking down, scared, bro. I'm not gonna front. And I'm a dude that, you know, I've been to some crazy place. I wasn't scared or nothing, but I had to, you know, I know how to move in situations like that. But you can't, I already knew, like, there's no point in acting tough around here because you ain't going to make it, right? You ain't going to make it out of here if you start trying to act like you freaking bold. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But it was all good, though. It was all good. It was fun. I'd like to go back one of these days. TC says, yo, Ace. What up? What is going on? But yeah, man, it is what it is. What you're gonna do. Let me pull up the schedule over here really fast and see what's coming up soon. Man, in a couple days though, these spring training games are gonna be kind of whack because like a lot of our stars are gonna go to the WBC. Is this thing working? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man, but stuff ain't working like it's supposed to work. Oh, who's throwing trash at me? That's how it is. That is how it is. Let me see that. All right, so we got Toronto today. Tomorrow we face Washington. Then we got the Braves on Thursday. Twins Friday, Saturdays, Blue Jays again, Phillies, Boston. All right. I say definitely by March 5th, the interest in spring training is gonna freaking be almost zero. Everybody's gonna be watching WBC. And I think that I know Judge for sure is supposed to be, because Team USA, they start practicing, I think it's like February 28th. Is it? And then the March 1st is like their first exhibition. So yeah, so he might play today, maybe even tomorrow, maybe. And I think that might be all we see of him until the WBC is over. Stephen B says, that's the first time I saw trash. Yeah, it is. Well, I got a call, man. Let me answer this call real quick. You know what? I'm not even going to answer. They can leave a voicemail. If it's that important, you can leave a voicemail. If my voicemail inbox isn't full. So Brennan says, no one wants to make PayPal bet on today's game. No one wants to make a PayPal bet. Yo, man, don't be soliciting gambling on my if they wanted to make a bet, they will bet it on in the proper channels to bet, like freaking FanDuel or whatever. You know? Nobody wants to who's gonna make a head-on bet with you, man. Okay. But yeah, let me see what's going on in the Twitter sphere. Oh shit. This card. Take a look over here.
A pinata?
That was Ben Rice's birthday.
What do we got right here?
Oh, remember this? This is what I put up. Everything is fine. Volpe's in the shortstop. Fireboon. Where the hell is Hal Steinbrenner? That's the fans, right? The fans on the right, on the left are the Yankees. While everything's burning down, it's a huge dumpster fire. And they're like, everything's good. Nothing to see here, man. Everything is all good. Is there any new comments? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I haven't added anything. I gotta finish that stuff. What will Cabby's slash line need to be for Yankees to make Volpe obsolete? Unfortunately, man, and it's unfair. They're gonna give him a chance. They're gonna give Volpe the chance no matter what, right? Even if Caballero comes out, right? Volpe should be back May or something like that. Let's say Volpe comes back May 1st and Caballero is batting .370, right? With 6 home runs and a .400 on base percentage. They still gonna give Volpe a chance. Volpe has to come back and play bad, right? So, and here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna pull this up right now. Hold on. I'll do this, right? All right, so this is we're gonna compare last year's numbers: Anthony Volpe versus Jose Caballero. All right, so as you can see, right, even though the sample size is smaller, Jose Caballero had a better year. And all, my man had a 339 on base percentage with 49 stolen bases, batted 236. Not the greatest average, but when you compare him to Volpe, it's like night and day. Night and day. I would say that he got to work on the strikeouts a little bit, Caballero. It's night and day. So the fact, man, the Yankees have these stats, and they know that, and they still didn't put him out there. It's going to take a lot, right? If Volpe comes back and bats, like, I don't know, like, it's going to take a lot for Caballero to make Volpe obsolete. A lot. Like, he's got to go out there and be an all-star, I would say. He's literally got to go out there and be an all-star. Unfortunately, and this sucks, but that's how I see it. They're not just going to move away from this dude. They're not. They never coach play the situation in front of them. It's weird. Yeah, it's just they're hard-headed. The Yankees are very hard-headed. They're stubborn. They're stuck in their ways. They hate for the fans to ever be right. They don't like it, right? And I'm going to call out somebody too, because there was even when Joel Sherman, and I like Joel Sherman a lot, but he had telling Yankee fans pretty much to shut the F up, right? And I was like, my man, shut up, though. He's another dude too that these dudes, man, look, all these talking heads and stuff, they always they feel like they're always right? And they hate the fact that a guy like me, who's in his crib right now, just chilling, could say something and be right about something. They don't like that. Like, a lot of these people, they feel like they've been gatekeeping for so long, right? That now that anybody could just jump on YouTube and speak their opinion. And sometimes I'm wrong, right? A lot of times I'm wrong, but sometimes I'm right, and they hate it. They hate it when the fans are right. They treat us like we're peasants sometimes. That's how I feel, man. Look, I don't like it, to be honest. And I used to be a fan of all these guys, even Michael Kay. I used to be a fan of Michael Kay. I still like Michael Kay to a sense, but even him, sometimes he speaks down on they speak down on Yankee fans like we're fucking idiots, and that pisses me off. Screw them. They get mad because these dudes, they feel like, oh, I'm the beat writer. Why? How can you be right? How can you be right if I'm the reporter? I'm the one with a degree. I'm the one who's been doing this so long. They can never, and people like that, man, I'm telling you, man, God will humble them. That's how I feel. Like, they get humbled, They're going to eat a nice slice of humble pie at some point. And the Yankees too. And I feel like the Yankees are, a lot of this is them being humbled, man, because they always feel like they're right. They always think they're doing it. And these other organizations are running laps around them, right? And spending half of what they spent. So that's the link. Okay, yeah, Ace is going to be doing the live play-by-play. The link is in the description. The link is in the chat right now to my man, the Ace Avenue, who does the great play-by-play. He's the best play-by-play in my opinion. Look, and I might piss people off with that, but I'm going to just keep it 100. So, yeah. And I'm about to get off of here soon in probably like 20 more minutes. So that way I could be first in the chat with Ace. I'm trying to win me a hat. This dude, man. Ace, man, when you gonna put out the merch so I could just buy a hat? Well, I gotta win it. Well, I gotta win the hat. But yeah. So that's what it. NYYJ, what's up, man? Me and NYYJ been texting back and forth a lot, especially when the season ended. And it's crazy though. A lot of the shit we were saying is like, I was hoping that we were wrong, but man, I'm telling you, man, this team, I'm not saying this team, it's the organization, man. There's something else. Like, it's become, and I get it, it's a business, it's corporate, you got to make, but it's become too much. It's just business. Like, they don't care about winning, right? Winning means being profitable, making money. They're good. Obviously, as long as they make the playoffs, like the standard, right? The Yankee standard has dropped. They have lowered the standard to Just make, and you could tell the judge. I swear, if I could be a fly on the wall in the clubhouse or some of these conversations the judge has with you, I bet you judge is not happy. I bet you he's like, yo, what is going on, bro? I gotta win something. We gotta win something. You know? So, oh, they don't want me as a manager, man. I can't, man, because you know, my son is playing on this new team and they asked me to help coach with them. And I was like, yeah, but then I was like, man, this is why I never coach, because it's like I coach my son one-on-one, but even me and him, we bump heads. And that's normal, right? And I feel like I help, especially if I'm just gonna be like a third base coach or something. Like, but I don't know, man, because I'm passionate about things, you know. I get passionate, so I might have to, my wife was like, please don't embarrass ourselves, you know, don't embarrass yourself out there. I'm like, all right, you know, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm cool, man. It's just kids, but sometimes, man, I don't know. I've been watching this game and playing it as a kid. You know, baseball's been a huge part of my life, my whole life. I fell in love with the sport, and I've been playing it and watching it ever since. But it's like, you know, I don't know, man. I'm just too passionate about this game, especially the Yankees. I'm too passionate about it. So like, I guess sometimes I get too invested, right, in this stuff. A says, let me see what A said. A says, I get the hats through Liz so far. Once I get an official distributor, I'll drop them. Bro, Ace, you gatekeeping with the hats, bro. You gatekeeping with the fitters. I'll send you the money and just get it done. Hey, Hilleman's Heart says, at least Artie Moreno says the quiet part out loud. Oh, yeah. It is a good thing you brought up Artie. Artie Moreno is a freaking idiot, right? You know, talking about winning is not, he said fans, winning is not, Artie Moreno said winning, he's whatchamacallit, he's the Angels, is he the owner or the general manager? Anyway, he said winning is not one of the top 5 priorities for fans. And I was like, what are you talking about? Winning is the top priority for fans. Like, the hell are you talking about? Yeah, he owns the Angels. And that's why he lost out on Shohei Ohtani. He's a freaking idiot, you know? He really is, man. And I'm sorry. I feel bad that Mike Trout is loyal, so but it's sad. Very sad that dude got to be in that organization that's just, man, they're embarrassing. Margay says it's a shame the judge was unfortunate to play for the worst manager in the history of baseball. I wouldn't say he's the worst manager, but look, that he don't got a World Series for a reason, man. He's not a winning manager either. Boone is a good manager, right? He's a decent manager, but he's not, like, they could do better, man. He's not the manager for the job, I think. If you want somebody to babysit players and just be cool with players and everything and that's it, yeah. But if you want somebody who's gonna be pushing the right buttons and getting the best out of their players, then I think you get somebody else. You try, man. You move on from that. Like, it's been like 10 years, right? 8, 9 years he's been manager. I say it's time to move on, especially if they win, him and Cashman. If they don't win nothing this year, it's time to move on from them. Like, you have to. How do you not, you know? It's way overdue at this point. Whether you think they're good or not, the fact that they haven't won, man, in so long, and we've been getting embarrassed and Hal's been, look, maybe he's not spending Dodger money, right? But he's been freaking signing the checks. He's been giving them every year 300 plus, you know, 300 million every season. Something's got to give, man. If I was Hal, I'd be pissed, man. I'd be freaking pissed. Man, we will talk about that. I'm gonna have to message you, Ace. Rara says winning number finger red number one. What I don't know. What is that? Oh, I see. That's the emoji. My thing can't display it for some reason. You gotta blame Cashman. It's Cashman and Boone. I'll tell you that much, man. It's Cashman and Boone. Look, Susan Waldman, right, said Boone is in lockstep with this stuff. He agrees with all this stuff and everything. Susan Waldman, she keeps it real. I'm gonna believe what she says. And not only that, man, look, ain't nobody holding a gun to Boone's head when he's making decisions on the field, right? When he brung in Nestor Cortez instead of Tim Hill to face in game one of the World Series in 2024, that was his decision. You know, and I know people think there's a script, and I think that before the game they might have like if this happens, do this. But he's the manager. He can. Look, Cashman said that he has full range to do. Cashman and him have said that that he does the lineup. He makes his decisions on the field. So who am I to not believe that, right? Susan Waldman said the same thing. Everybody says that Boone is making the decisions, right? As far as what happens on the field. Except for fans, like, you know, the conspiracy theory, you know, is that it's coming from the front office. Maybe it is, right? Either way, man, it's been way too long. They got to go. Both of them, to me. If they don't win this year, they got to go. I've been saying it for the past 7 years. You have to clean house. Yeah, I've been saying it for a while too, man. You got to literally clean house from top to bottom. They need to, man, the Yankees, I don't know, the organization has like, I'm not going to say everybody because there's some good people in there, but we've fallen so far from how the Yankees used to be, man. And I don't understand. And I understand the game has changed and things have changed, but man, like, and they're too stubborn to see it though. That's the problem. They're too stubborn to see that they really have a problem. They need to gut it from the inside. Hired Boone the same year Yankees hired Mickey Callaway. Since then, the Mets have gone through managers like underwear and toilet paper. Oh, this dude bringing up Epstein files, man. Putting in Cortez alone should have got him fired. Who does that? Yeah, man. But you know what it is? To me, that was a fireable offense. But then they used the excuse like, how can you fire a manager who just made it to the World Series? And I understand that point too. But man, if you think about it, look, we could go through the years, right? Since he's been manager, it's always ended it's always ended with the exception of maybe like 2 years. You know, when Aroldis Chapman gave up that home run to freaking Altuve, that was 1 year that it was like, damn, you know, and maybe they were cheating. I get it. That was a year, man, that I felt like we could have made it, man. We should have made it. But with the exception of that, we've been embarrassed. We've made it to the playoffs, but every time we get there, we get super embarrassed and we get outclassed. We got outclassed last year by the Blue Jays. The year before that by the Dodgers. The year before that, we didn't even make it. The year before that, we got swept by the Astros. You see what I'm saying? Like, and if you go back, you'd be like, damn, any other manager would have been like, they would have been like, look, you know. But then they say, well, he makes it to the playoffs every year. So, you know, and even Cashman, they make it to, yeah, but when you have $300 million, you're expected to make it to the playoffs. The Mets had a $300+ million payroll last year. They didn't make it to the playoffs. And I guarantee you, that was because Cohen is like, you know what? But he got rid of everybody. You saw he got rid of everybody. If they don't make it to the playoffs this year, I promise you, Cohen is firing David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza. But the Yankees, I promise you, if they don't make it to the playoffs this year, nobody's getting fired, bro. They're going to fire the first base coach. That's what they'll do. Yeah. Yeah, making the playoffs as the Yankee manager's default. That's what I'm saying. Especially, look, any team that if you have a $300 million payroll and you don't make it to the playoffs, it's a tremendous failure. All right. And that's why I brought up the Mets as an example, because everybody keeps bringing, well, the Mets didn't make it. And I say, yeah, and they look what they did. They gutted it, right? They got rid of a whole bunch of people. And the only reason they didn't get rid of the manager and the general manager is because I think that he's just giving them a chance. It's like, okay, let's see what you guys can do. And if it don't work out this year for them, I could almost, man, you could, look, maybe I have to make a receipt. They're gone, dude. They are gone. They are gone. So, it's tough. Sunil said that the thing is you can't fire somebody you don't employ, Sunil. That's the thing. So I'm good, man. I don't look, and I get it. Like I have no affiliation or ties or even inside knowledge. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there claim they have inside knowledge of stuff. I don't got none of that, man. I watch base. I just call it how I see it, man. As a regular fan, like you guys, I call it like I see it. And for the most part, obviously I've had bad takes and said, but the Yankees prove us right, man. The Yankees have proven the fan base right. They won't say it. Right? But the fan base has been ahead of the organization. It's crazy. The fan base has been ahead of the organization for years now with a lot of stuff. Hold on. With a lot of things, I could bring back like even IKF, right? When we was like, he's not a shortstop. And they kept trying until him himself was like, yo, I'm not a shortstop. Damn. Yeah, we've been ahead on a lot of things, man. The fans. Even with Aaron Hicks, we like, yo, stop playing this dude, And it took him for so long to finally be like, okay, you're right. It's gonna happen with Volpe again. It's gonna happen with Volpe if he don't step up, and the fans are gonna be like, "Look, we told you so." Same thing. Luigi, I wouldn't say that, but I understand though as a fan too. Look, I'm not. You got to be optimistic about your team. Like you got to root for it. If not, then what's the point? So we're hoping for the best, but again, like I always say, hoping and a plan. I'm just hoping. Look, and I want to be wrong when I say these things about Boone and the Yankees and all this stuff and these certain players. I want to be wrong. I want them to prove me wrong. But man, like, bro, we seen it. Like, I look at this lineup today. Like, bro, I saw this lineup just a couple months ago, and they didn't do jack squat. So, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Change this up real quick. By the way, too, just a side note, if you haven't liked the video, please like the stream. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Become a channel if you want. Become a channel member if you want. I got a lot of cool perks there. Right now it's open to everybody, but when the season starts, I'm going to limit it to only channel members. Mm-hmm. Is Locked On Yankees the one with the guy and girl? Oh, yeah, Locked On. I like Locked On Yankees. What are you talking about? They keep it 100. Yeah, they keep it real, man. I'm not a hater of nobody. And I get, like, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, man. I'm not a hater of none of the other channels and none of that stuff. I do think that there'd be some, sometimes I don't agree with everything, right? But I'm doing my own thing. That's how I see it. I'm doing my own thing. I ain't worried about nobody else. Do I watch a lot of these other channels? I do watch a lot of these other channels because that's what I'm into, man. I'm into Yankees and baseball. I watch a lot of stuff, man. Yeah, but shout out to them, man. They don't. I wouldn't say they're arrogant or anything. I don't know. I mean, look, that's your opinion. I don't think it's hard to tell. Like for me, if I've never met somebody, I can't. It's hard for me to speak negative on them because I don't know this person. I don't know anybody. Like if I don't know you, it's hard for me to. And look, I don't like saying anything negative about anybody. Period. You know, I do so when I'm talking about baseball because and some people, if they don't like it, especially players, then you look. That's what you signed up for. People are gonna critique you, right? And I'm sure people talk shit about me, and I'm sure people hate on me and all that because I'm coming out here to the public. But me personally, man, if I don't know you and I've never met you, even if I see you on YouTube or wherever, if I've never met you, it's hard for me to say that you're this way or that way, because I don't know for sure, right? I only know what you present to me on the tube, man. So yeah, but me, man, I don't care, man. I'm at the point. Look, I'm at the point in my life where, man, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I get it. A lot of people ain't gonna like it, but that's what it is. A lot of people ain't gonna agree, right? Everybody, and it's okay, especially as Yankee fans. That's why I don't like as Yankee fans. We eat our own, and when I say we eat our own, I don't mean our players. Like how people be like, "Oh, how can you boo your own team's players?" No, fuck it, boo them, dude. You have the right to do whatever you want. It don't matter if the person's on your team. If they suck, boo them. Let them know. That's how you let them know that you're dissatisfied with the performance, right? With what you're seeing out there with the product. So if people be like, "Oh, how can you boo your?" When I say we eat our own as Yankee fans, I mean Yankee fans. We eat our own fans up, right? Like we. Not only does the organization, first of all, they look at us like we're idiots. The media. All the media, man. I'm telling you right now. Look, I'm gonna keep it 100. Most these people that you see, these, even like Michael K, Joe Schmo, I'm gonna say all of them. Fuck them. All of them. They think we're fucking idiots, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. They think we're dumb as fuck, right? But as Yankee fans, we always eat each other up too. Because we always bickering and fighting, and it's because we have different opinions. That people are like, "Oh, you're stupid. How can you trade this guy? You want to trade this prospect?" Look, it don't matter. Like everybody's, I get it. Some takes are terrible, right? Some takes make no sense, but everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Okay. I think the Yankees fan, Derek Jeter said it himself. New York fans, and I'm gonna say like New York. You don't have to be from New York to be a New York fan. Yankee fans are to me, some of the smartest baseball fans out there, right? We pay attention to everything. And that's why when they be like, "Oh, how can you Yankee fans, you guys boo your own players?" Yeah, because we paying attention, right? We're not going to clap for mediocrity. That's just not what we do. And if you're from New York, you know for sure in the town in New York is a different animal. There is no time for that, bro. We're not giving you any kind of props for anything other than freaking greatness. Like you gotta play well, play hard. We respect you if you play hard, right? And I get it. During the course of a 162 game, it's hard to run out every ground ball and do all that stuff. But we respect athletes, right? New York sports fans, right? We respect athletes who give it 100%, and who respect us back. Who respect us, and that's why the Yankees fans, I don't want to speak as for the entire fan base, but me as a Yankee fan, I've lost respect for the Yankees, not the players, the Yankees organization and the people they put out there, the representatives of the organization, whether it's Cashman, sometimes Boone too. Even though Boone, I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting more respect for him because he's stopped the gaslighting. He stopped gaslighting as much. But like Cashman, the organization, even a lot of the big time guys who run the media, whether it's Michael K and all these guys, they don't respect us at all. They think we're freaking dirt, right? I'm gonna keep it on. That's how they talk, and that we're always wrong, right? Yankee fans are always wrong. Like if we get mad at something, if we're upset and we don't like Volpe's performance, put Cabello, we're dumb. We're for even saying that, and that's how it is, man. So that's my little spiel on that. My little rant. And I've been pissed off about it for a long time as a Yankee fan. But at the same time, I still go and I spend money because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the team. I love my team and I love the sport. But the way they treat us, though, they don't appreciate that, right? They're making money hand over fist. And you got the nerve to go on freaking on television or whatever it was, talking about Hal Steinbrenner and cry broke. Cry broke. You're gonna cry broke? Come on, guy. And I'm not saying you got to spend $400 million, but you should have just shut up. You should have never said anything. You're gonna come up there and act like, why is everybody mad? We don't. Everybody thinks we got money. Why do you think we got money? Why do we think you got money? Because you're the freaking Yankees, right? And I get it. Your payroll, you're spending a lot of money, but they put it out there. You make more than everybody else. We're not mad that you're not spending money because I do agree. I think that Hal does spend money. We're mad that they make the wrong moves every time, and and I feel like it's this. I almost feel like, man, I'm gonna be honest, especially like Hal and Cashman, these guys in the front office. Some of these guys, from what I've seen, I almost think like they don't like us, man. They hate the fans, yo. That's how I feel sometimes. It's like, bro, I feel like they hate the fans. Just even if a move makes sense, right? Even if a move makes sense, a player. I'm gonna use Bryce Harper just as an example, and I don't want to. Maybe that's a bad example, but even just anything, we're like, yo, go get this guy, go get him, please. Go. You're the Yankees. They won't do it just because the fans want him, you know. Or if we saying like this, you know, and I understand they can't operate just off what the fans want, because us as fans, we're emotional and we act off of sometimes we're irrational too a little bit, but sometimes the move, like shit is just blatant obvious, you know. Some stuff is just obvious and they still they don't care, man. They don't care. You know, it's obvious to everybody and they don't care. Mad Steve says Boone is a record that skips over and over. Yeah, man. But lately, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lately Boone has been kind of pulling back the curtain and giving us a glimpse. He's been, you know, he said a lot of things that contradict what even players said or what Cashman says. You know, he says something like that. Like they had the nerve to literally come out there and be like, we're not running it back. Like this Cashman, right? We're not running it back. We're not running it back. I challenge anybody who says that this is the same team as last year. And then in the same freaking interview, when they switched over to Cody Bellinger, he said, I'm glad we're running it back. We're running it back, and I want to be with these guys, and he was happy about it. And I'm like, bro, but Cashman just said no. And I don't know. It's just so funny, man. They can't even get their shit together. You know, internally. Everybody knows they're running it back. Everybody knows that. You know, obviously it's not identical, but everybody knows you're running it, and that's okay. Just keep it real. But like, yo, I feel like the team was good enough last year. We just, whatever, we're going to run it back because we think we're good enough. But to lie and be like, what do you mean we're running it back? Who's running it back? What are you talking about? Right? What are you talking about? Nobody's running it back. I'm going to pull up this lineup one more time. You know, you put slide in Giancarlo Stanton in there. Right? This is pretty much the same. Like 8 of these guys are the same guys that were here in a few months ago. So in the LDS, you know, and I look, the team is good though, right? And I say all that, but the team is a decent team, but it ain't a winning team though. To me, it ain't a winning team. So, and by winning team, I mean a World Series caliber team, but we saw it last year. John the Beagle that says this front office is mean to passionate fans who care more about this team than Hal does. I think Hal cares, man, like to a sense, but he's not. Hal is very disciplined in his ways. Like he has a budget and he's not gonna deviate from it at all. And he shouldn't, because he's spending $300 million. He shouldn't. But where I blame Hal is like, okay, now you need to look at all the people who's making these decisions that are not working out. All the people who've made these decisions that are not working out. Who decided to pass up on Harper? Like, that's when, and he doesn't do nothing about. He leaves everybody in place still. That's where I say that's Hal's fault. Because sometimes as the boss, you need to just come in and say enough is enough. No, we're not doing this no more. It ain't working. So we got to change. You're going to go. You're going to go. We're going to bring somebody new, and they bring in their people and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, okay, it wasn't working before anyway. That's what I like. If the Yankees got rid of Boone and got another, everybody be like, "Well, who are you gonna replace him with?" I'm like, it doesn't matter, bro. It ain't working now. If it ain't working now, then just try something new. Let's just try it, Or even Cashman, we get another GM and see where it goes. And look, in a couple years, if it's the same thing, then we move on from that too. But it ain't working as it is right now. So Wilkins says our starters suck. I wouldn't say our starters suck, man. I think they definitely. I feel like Max Fried and Rodon and them, they ran out of gas. And even them, man. Look, man, it's hard to. I'm gonna be honest with you, Wilkins. It's hard to disagree with you, right? Because the numbers are good, but when we face a team like the Blue Jays, they were getting rocked all season. All of them got rocked all season by the Blue Jays. So, I don't think they suck, but I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of, like, everybody keeps saying, well, it wasn't the pitching. Pitching wasn't the reason we lost. It was the offense. And then some people say, no, lack of offense was the reason why we lost last year, not the pitching. And I think it was both. I think it was a little bit of both. This team is very good at beating below 500 teams. Very good at beating below 500 teams. And not very good at beating over 500 teams, John says, I still say this season, all season, is because of the impending. I know, yeah, I agree with you. I think so too. And I think that Hal is leading the charge on that, man. Hal wants a salary cap so bad. I'm telling you. I guarantee you, behind the scenes, he's leading the charge of whoever, the coup of owners who I think all of them want it, but he's like, I think he's one of the forerunners. Like, hey, man, he's like spearheading that whole movement for the salary cap, and obviously he can't go spending like the Dodgers, because then they'll look at him like, bro, you're the main guy calling for a salary cap, and you freaking spending $400 million. And he's not going to do it anyway, because he likes giving his investors what they want. Luigi says, yeah, that's why we should never sign Belly. Look, Bellinger's making like $42 million this year, and then like another 40 next year. I don't know. Signing Bellinger was a good thing. And at first it seemed like Cashman fleeced him. At first, it felt like Cashman finessed Scott Boras, right? But then after, when I got the details of the Bellinger contract, I was kind of like, I don't know, who fleeced who? Because Bellinger could make $80 million in the next 2 years and then opt out and get another $100 million, somewhere or whatever it is. So who fleeced who, right? Let's say Bellinger opts out after 2 years, and we paid him $80 million, $40-something million a year. That don't sound great, right? And then when you see it like that, that's why I guess that's why Jazz got the idea that he can make 35 a year. Let's see. I'm gonna have to make an app that pulls up these contracts on its own. All right, look, guys. This is Cody Bellinger's contract. So, well, I guess with the luxury tax, it comes out to 44.75. Oh no, the payroll. He's on payroll. I don't know how to break this shit down. I'm gonna be honest. Let's go to cash breakdown. I don't know. That seems like a lot, man. He's getting a lot a year. Oh, this thing's so glitchy. Okay. Yeah, man. He's making a lot of money. And but the thing is, like, he can opt out, right? So let's say he opts out after making 80 million, then right there it's like, would you sign Cody Bellinger for 2 years for 80 million? And then when I look at it like that, I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. 2 years, 80 million, 40 million a year. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know, man. But we needed him back, though. I'm not gonna lie. If they didn't get him back, then it really this team would have really looked grim. Really looked grim. But his numbers, he didn't do much anyway in the postseason. I'm gonna be honest. He was let's keep it real. Cody Bellinger was great during the season. Like, without him, I don't think the Yankees make it to the playoffs. But when the playoffs came, man, he didn't do shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He didn't do anything. Welcome says Bellinger annoys him. I like Belly though. I think that man. When I look at Bellinger, I see a baseball player. Like, he's a good baseball player. Is he worth 40 million? Well, the Yankees paid him 40 million, so it is what it is. But man, I feel like, I don't know. Unless a few people step up this year, it's gonna be tough. Bellinger plays like a true Yankee. If Jazz goes off this year, he's getting paid. Yeah, he's gonna have to go off though. I don't know about 35 million for 10 years though. We'll see though. It's gonna be interesting because what if there's a lockout? Like, so his free agency is gonna, anybody who's being a free agent this year, it's gonna be weird how they do it. Right? And what if they do get a salary cap, even though the players would never go for it? But what if they do? How does that affect the guys entering free agency, right? So it's going to be really interesting how everything works out. He said, I don't know. I wouldn't rather look. Jason Dominguez's defense is still sketchy to me. I can't have him out there every day. Unfortunately, I just can't. Has he improved? I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him, but I know yesterday I was watching the game and there was like a hit or something that he kind of took a weird route to, and I was like, wow, man, you're looking like IKF out there. Even IKF was better than him in the outfield. So he needs work, man. He needs work on his defense for sure. He does. Jazz is going to commit errors in back-to-back elimination games and the LDS again. Man, look, I'm gonna lock. Nah, we're not even locking that in as a receipt. Let me see your receipt right now. You said Jazz is going to hit 227, 36 home runs, and fail in the postseason again, chasing 40 home runs. Damn, you said that in December 20th, bro. Well, you forgot about this. I'm keeping tabs, man. I mean, damn, you're a Jazz hater. Let me add this. Hold on. Let me see if it added it. All right, we'll add that to it. We will add that. Damn. All negative about Jazz. He says 2020. I don't think 2026 is a wash. I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's a wash, man. Like I said, I think. Damn, I had an appointment today and I forgot. Crap. I think that this year we're gonna be good enough to be contenders, to be contending for the division, right? Come the trade deadline, right? If we don't make a big move, we got to make a move that moves the needle, that pushes us over the hump, then I think we have a real legit shot. If not, we probably make it to the playoffs, like as a wild card team or something, or maybe even the division. Who knows, right? But we ain't gonna go far. Now with this roster, as is right now, I don't. And look, that sucks, right? But I just got to keep it real. Why would I expect different? It didn't happen last year. Why would I expect anything different, right? So, but I will say this though, right? The one good thing about running it back, right? The one good thing about running it back, I know people, man, that phrase right there has become controversial this offseason for Yankee fans. But the one good thing about it is that, there is such a thing about cohesion, camaraderie between people. Like when you play with somebody, or even like when I was in the military, right? When I was in the Army, after if you deploy with a certain group of people, like I deploy, or you go to the field, when you struggle with a certain group of people and go through a whole season and seasons with that same group, you become family, You don't become a team, you become family. And then when you family, it's a different dynamic, right? Because everybody's got each other's back. It's a different vibe, man. And you don't mess with family, right? Because a family could really do something, do damage. So I'm hoping that some of that magic happens, right? Maybe, or maybe not. I could be wrong, right? But I would think so. From my experience and my life experiences, especially with working with people, if you work with people for so long, at a certain point, you become family. Even if you don't like them, some people don't get along, but it's like you guys been together for so long, right? Trying to accomplish the same thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there is something like camaraderie and cohesion and stuff like that, right? In the clubhouse. I do think that exists. Luigi says, when you see the Dodgers, yes, a wash. Yeah, the Dodgers are so deep, man. I looked at their lineup today, like their projected everyday lineup, and I was like, it's not fair. It really isn't fair. Even when you look at even their bullpen, oh my God. Their bullpen, they got Elwin Diaz, Tanner Scott, Vesia. They got a whole squad up there, and then their rotation is like, what? 1 through 5. Freaking all-stars. And then the lineup 1 through 9. They got Teoscar Hernandez batting like 8th because they got so many people in there. It's just crazy. It's really crazy. Really, really crazy. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me, man. I appreciate you guys. Again, if you haven't liked the video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you're interested in, if you guys are streamers or content creators or want to get into it and you want to have cool graphics and stuff like that, check out Evimo. I left the link in the description. I made some ticker apps for them. You could get the free tier just to try it out, and you can see the apps that I made. I made a ticker that you can use in there. I made a stats fetcher. You see, I pull up the stats, player stats. I made something like that where you could pull a player's stats. And I also made I'm drawing a blank here. And I also made a score bug for if you do live play-by-plays, it can show the scores or stuff. I do get a small percentage, but it helps me out. It's not much, but anything helps. Again, I appreciate you guys, man. Have a blessed rest of your day. Let's go Yankees. Make sure you go jump over to Ace's channel, the Ace Avenue, who's doing the live play-by-play right after this. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys tonight. I'm gonna try to come on tonight so we can chop it up again. Appreciate you guys, man. Take care. Peace, y'all.
Sunrise, new fade, let go, morning travel, seas at the tone. Alone, I'm up, no snooze, no slack, lay tight, mic on hand, we run the track. Coffee in the system, my shot, talk slick. Pre-game on the screen, I don't miss, I don't pick. Type stats in the chat, watch a pop, but I got a card on the screen, and the numbers arise. Just to be safe, when we see replay, don't get one, no rumors, the data say, clap energy, the day realize, in the early hours, the main crowd, quick, no fuck, we don't stop. Roll call, name drop, yeah, I got them all. One command, one tap, and the truth on tap, you want to prove, just type it in the chat. Yeah, yeah, on the track, yeah, right, yeah. First pitch, energy, early day, right. Chat, go, when the screen goes down, pull the